Welcome everyone to RedRaiders.com. I'm Zach Long. This is Krista Pirtle. We call this segment Know Your Enemy, and as you probably guessed from the title, we will be previewing Texas Tech's upcoming opponent on the old football season. And this is week number 1, and of course our focus is on the University of Central Arkansas. They're a subdivision opponent, Krista, and we jokingly kind of put on the script, this bear might not make it over the mountain.
He may take a few steps here and there, but he ain't going to get over it. I think the only really interesting thing I found in my research of UCA was that Scottie Pippen went to Central Arkansas, so it's not too shabby.
Hey, you got that guy going on. What's he claiming the commercial, the greatest Chicago Bowl ever?
Yeah, and Charles Barkley is a pacifist.
Exactly.
Not at all.
But we shouldn't joke too much because these subdivision opponents have made some things real negative for some teams. Recently, last year, Kansas State got popped by eventual national champion North Dakota State, and Texas Tech, Krista, they suffered this once as well. We won't go too much into it, but back in the day when North Texas was a subdivision opponent, they kind of ruined the start of a Red Raider football season, so I doubt they disrespect them, and here's a reason why. Steve Campbell, their first-year head coach, very respected guy.
Yeah, he's solid. In his 10 seasons at Mississippi Gulf Coast, he only had 22 losses. He's never had a losing season. So he knows how to get the job done, and he also coached 2 guys at that community college that are now at Tech, in safety Josh Keys and offensive lineman Rashad Fortenberry. So they know what to expect from their former coach.
And he's very well respected. He has put a ton of talent into the Division I level, has some guys in the NFL right now, runs a wide open spread attack, and they score a lot of points at Mississippi Gulf Coast. So he may not have it intact this year, still a dangerous team. How about offensively or just in general? What is something they should be concerned about with Central Arkansas?
Offensively, my concern when I just look at the Tech defense is that young secondary.
Yeah.
And this team, be it if they're a D1, D2 school, they're going to attack that. Last year they had 17 guys catch a pass, 10 of them caught over 30 passes. Their leading receiver coming back from that year is Desmond Lewis, and so that secondary for Tech really is going to have to watch that, and that's going to be a great primer for the Big 12 season when every offense is going to be passing it out.
And speaking of passing, we don't know who will be passing for Central Arkansas. They have 3 quarterbacks competing in fall camp, and I heard their offensive coordinator quoted in a story this week saying, we got 3 guys we can win a championship with. Maybe, maybe not, but I don't think the Red Raiders are going to know who the quarterback is until they, quote, you'll see when they march
on the
when
field.
they trot out there on Saturday. How about defensively? I know there's some guys on that side of the ball who Tech better be concerned about.
Jonathan Woodard.
Yep.
Watch out. He led the Southland Conference last season with 8 sacks. His freshman year, he was the conference's freshman of the year. He's been first team all Southland the past 2 seasons. So that kid can get the job done, and Tech, the offensive line, better block that guy.
First name mentioned by Cliff Kingsbury yesterday at the press conference was Woodard. So you know that they absolutely respect him. That'll be a good test. But you got LaRaven Clark out there and some other guys at the tackle position. Tech should be okay. And plus, Tech's philosophy. They're going to hit quick and try to utilize their speed. So might be a really tough task for Central Arkansas to stay competitive with Tech at this point. When you look at the game, how do you see it coming out, Krista?
I see the Tech offense getting things done. I'm going to say 59-24. Most of those 24 points are going to come in the 4th quarter when the Tech starters are taking a breather.
Yeah, because we know Matt Wallerstadt and that defensive staff, they're going to work a lot of kids in and try to get a bunch of people experience because every Big 12 team knows they are going to need depth. If you don't have depth, you're not going to survive the Big 12 conference. So should be a good weekend to test some of that depth and get a bunch of kids into the football game, though. But for now, that's going to wrap up our look at the University of Central Arkansas in a segment we like to call Know Your Enemy. Stay locked into RedRaiders.com, LubbockOnline.com. Krista, Nick Talbot, Don Williams, the whole happy family with tons of coverage getting you ready for Texas Tech and Central Arkansas on Saturday night from Jones AT&T Stadium. For now, though, wave goodbye, Krista. This is RedRaiders.com.